NBA YoungBoy, he beat his federal gun case.
Right. Oh, so he's home now?
Well, he's been home.
Oh.
Okay. He was on house arrest.
Right. All right, yeah.
He has another case, I believe, in California that he still has to fight, another gun case. But the federal case, or maybe I got it mixed up. But anyways, he had a federal case that he ended up beating recently. They basically couldn't prove that it was his gun. And, he got the best defense. He spent lots of money on it. And now he's out. So his first tour stop, they actually announced, is going to be in Chicago, which is interesting. Like, for example, me and 600 Breezy, we talked about this in our last interview. And he was like, yeah, bring Quando Rondo and Lil Tim on tour with you, which he's actually doing. I don't know about Lil Tim, but he's actually bringing Quando Rondo to the Chicago show. NBA YoungBoy's manager did a tweet, and he said that YoungBoy's first stop is going to be in Chicago. And you responded to that.
Yeah, I told him to bring them dirty Dickie suit wearing niggas. That's just like, like...
And people are saying you're talking about Quando Rondo and Lil Tim.
Of course.
Right. And, Quando Rondo was involved in, the death of King Von.
Right.
That whole situation. He wasn't the one that pulled the trigger, but his man was the one that killed him and so forth. So you got this whole situation where he's
What venue is going to allow that?
Well, that's going to be an interesting question.
Right. What venue is going to want to do
I guess
that?
I guess he'll probably do the United Center, which is the big Coliseum in Chicago.
And you think they're going to,
I don't know. Will they allow it? Will they not? I mean, listen, remember during the whole Drake-Meek Mill beef, Drake did a show in Philly.
Yeah, but that's Drake. You know what I'm saying? That's Drake with this.
NBA YoungBoy is on a Drake level when it comes to popularity right now.
No, I know. But I'm talking about in terms of what Drake did and what Quando did. It's two different things. Like,
well, we're really talking about YoungBoy. Quando's just on the bill. This is really, people are not going to be packing out the United Center for Quando.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is the threat comes from Quando.
Well, no, not exactly. Because think about the Quando beef was really inherited from the NBA YoungBoy Lil Durk beef. That's what it's really about. Quando is YoungBoy's artist.
Right.
King Von was Durk's artist.
Oh, so that's what they found? I didn't know this.
Well, I'm not saying, listen, it's an open case. Who ultimately, whatever happens. But it seems to come from that overall animosity between these two camps.
Right.
Right? And people's baby mothers and girlfriends are thrown into the situation, and it's all fucking messy.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, with Quando, see, whatever NBA YoungBoy and Durk had didn't result in a murder of, like, it didn't come with all this other stuff. Yeah, they just had words, right? I mean, I'm not really sure what happened, but what did they have?
It's been a long-standing beef for a while.
Right. Okay, fine. But then with Quando is a different situation. You know what I'm saying? Is resulted in a loss of King Von, which was revered in Chicago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, okay, if NBA YoungBoy went to Chicago by himself, then, the venue would probably be like, all right, we could, you know what I mean? But with this dude, it's like a little different. It adds like a whole nother a level to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, listen, 600 Breezy basically said that if that show actually happens, there's going to be so much police presence there that he doesn't expect anything to happen.
Right.
It's right. Too big of a venue, too big of an artist. It's not like YoungBoy's going to come in with a bunch of his homies.
Right.
He's going to come with actual serious police presence, whether he wants it or not. The police are not fucking around. I mean, listen, like Chief Keef can't perform in Chicago because of all the bullshit.
Yeah,
over
but
the
now,
years.
I mean, I think now the level of like, I don't give a fuck is just like a lot more than before. You got people that just don't give a fuck right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they looking at shit like, oh, these people beating their cases, I'll beat my. So you never know. People, these young kids, they'll run in front of a fucking or a moving train. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, yeah. I mean, and Breezy even said that. He said that someone, in order to touch one of these guys, it would have to be a kamikaze mission.
Right.
It'd have to be like, I'm going to go and shoot somebody and I'm going to get arrested.
I mean, chances are probably it won't happen, but it could. You never know. You never know what the fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. And I interviewed academics recently,
Right.
and according to him, he feels that the NBA YoungBoy Lil Durk beef hasn't even reached its height yet. He's worried that at some point one of them is going to either die or go to prison for a long time for it to finally start to simmer down.
The interesting thing about that beef is like we feel like it hasn't reached its ultimate conclusion.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And that's the problem.
That's the problem.
And unfortunately, it feels like the ultimate conclusion is one of those guys getting either incarcerated or dying.
Because King Von died at this point, but it's not directly these guys. And, Quando Rondo, his man just got killed. I don't know if you heard about this.
Yeah.
He was in L.A. His car got shot up, and I think his cousin got killed in the process. Yeah. Not to say it has anything to do with any of this shit, but who the fuck knows? There's a lot of death and shootings and everything else that's happening around this. And
I thought it was over like the checking in thing or whatever.
Who knows?
Right,
Who knows? Who knows? But so much fuck shit has happened over this. Neither party wants to talk to each other because everyone feels like they're rich. And, listen, I get it. There's people. I remember I was talking to this dude recently, this producer I was going to interview, and we were talking about my beef with this other, big podcaster. And
you got smoke?
Nah, whatever. But I'm not going to put any names out, but I was explaining the situation to him, and I'm like, and if I just came down to egos, basically, both of us were on the phone. Neither person wanted to back down from our stance. You know what I mean? Like,
was it Adam?
No, it wasn't Adam.
Oh, I think I know who it is.
But basically,
Joe Button.
No, it's not Joe. Me and Joe Button never got on the phone with each other. But anyways, it was like you got two dudes who have a certain amount of power and a certain amount of money, a certain amount of fans and power, clout, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Neither person wants to back down. And then it's a dumb situation, and it continues on. And both people takes little shots at each other over time. And then if we run into each other, who knows what happens? Oh, my
God, it's going to be up.
Who knows what happens?
Imagine? Yo, man, long-standing beef.
But it's not a real beef. But the thing is, like a lot of times, it's not even real beef. It's just like two dudes with egos over. Neither person wants to basically humble themselves and say, okay, something, I was wrong for saying that.
Right.
Sometimes
that's all it takes, man.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes.